We dream of becoming musicians. You know, musicians dream of being on a stage. Then we start to buy records and we start dreaming of being like our, you know, inspiration givers, you know. So we dream of being like, maybe like Endorphin and Fire or Stevie Wonder or whatever it is that I dreamt of, you know. So I dreamt of working with these people. I dreamt of being them, then I dreamt of, oh, I'm actually playing in a band now, so one day I hope to work with them. And now I've worked with Stevie, I've worked with Shaka Khan, Jorj, Marcus Miller, all these people. We've worked with Leon Ware. So it was almost like, oh wow, you know, I mean, I dreamt about Marvin Gaye all my life, you know, it's like his sound and everything. Now I was working with Leon Ware, who wrote so many things for Marvin Gaye and also worked with him and produced him and worked closely with him. So to be in that environment, to be in the house sitting next to Leon Ware, writing a song and then recording, it's, you know, it's like it's all the dreams that you could have, all your Christmases in one. I've had a chance to work with everybody up till now that I've wanted to, really wanted to. Now it's time to really start looking at the young guys.
You never told me where to go. And when the darkest cloud took away my life, I held on to you, yeah, and you stopped me from living.
The name Incognito was chosen because it means in disguise. It means it's a surprise, you know, we're incognito, you don't know who we are. So every time we'll come with a different group, some different songs, some different ideas, it will change. The idea was because I was in a band. In your teenage years, when you're in bands as a teenager, it's like being in a gang. It's you against the other bands. It's like a music war, you know. It's a friendly war, but it's still some tension sometimes. I didn't want this. I wanted to have a band that would invite people from other bands to come and play, you know. And I got fed up with being in these bands. Oh, we all wear the same clothes, and this person doesn't look right to be in this band. With Incognito, you can look however you are, as long as you sound good and you have a good spirit. The only people who don't survive Incognito and move very quickly and don't come back are the people who are not embracing the spirit of togetherness, and they have their own ideas of being a star. In this band, everybody has a chance to be a star, but everybody is a star. I can tell from the time a musician walks in a room whether I'm going to be able to get on with that person or not. It's the way. It's the way they look at you. It's the way that you react to them. Oh, this is a person that needs me, or this is a person I'm excited to be around, or this is a person that maybe I should take time to discover this person, or this is a person that's really not my cup of tea, you know. And it's really that reaction that is the first reason for being in this band. The rest is like, look, if you've stepped up to come and play with Incognito, you can play. You can sing, you can play. Because there's a level that is demanded of you. There's many people that can copy it, can do it, but the way that I'm thinking is I like people who have kind of also interested in the journey, you know. That means what they read, what they see in movies, what they want to talk about, you know. If a guy just wants to talk about a one-dimensional thing all the time, it gets boring, you know. If a guy is there just to get drunk every night, it gets boring, you know. It's like I need people around me that are just looking to do the next thing. So when they're in the studio, there is an excitement, there's an experimental attitude. There's, when we discover something in this band, people send, oh, check this YouTube link, or check out this book. We all send, well, I've been to see this movie tonight, check it out, you know. It's almost like we have, Incognito is his own Facebook. You know, it's the family of Incognito. We've had a Facebook system for many, many years, way before Facebook. You know, and that's what exists within us. That's the team we have. It could be anything. It could be reading an interview by Tom Waits, you know. It could be that I collect stamps, I go to a stamp shop and suddenly I find myself with old people and I'm going, oh man, it's kind of quiet in the old people. Then I start talking to an old guy who tells me a story that completely blows my mind. Oh, why did you collect them? Oh, when I was younger, I traveled, blah, blah, blah. I fought in this war and I met a girl in this country and we're married and then I had to leave her for 20 years or whatever. And suddenly I'm inspired to write a love song because this guy has awoken in me, this old man in his late 80s has awoken in me a story, a real love story. How did I feel about meeting somebody? Suddenly it awakens you. You could be going by, I could be going in the traffic and I see a poster and it says, Toyota, I love what you do for me. Oh, I like this, I love what you do for me. And I write the song, I love what you do for me. It was a Toyota advert, you know. It's like different things. You know, reading on the road, Jack Kerouac, oh, I've got to write a song, you know. It's like, it's everything. It's what you eat, what you smell, what you taste, and it's also what you live.
Everywhere I go, Stevie is known all over the world. Take this song, for instance.
Everybody's got a thing, but some don't know how to handle it. Always reaching out in vain, accepting the things not worth having. Don't you worry about a thing, yeah. Come on, sing it, Georgia. Don't you worry about a thing, sweet baby, 'cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it out.
Most bands, music is where it stops, you know. We do the concerts, you get the money, you get paid, you go home. With this band, we do social work. We do many projects, charity projects, storm relief, tsunami relief, AIDS research, cancer, things that affect our lives because we all know somebody who has suffered from cancer. We all know somebody because we travel so much. In Indonesia, I know whole villages that disappeared. You know, I know people who've lost mother, father. You know, it's like so. Socially, we're part of them, and they're part of us, and it's very, very, very important that we do this social work. We encourage also through the music that we embrace, the jazz, the soul. We encourage a certain level of thinking. It's a thinking man's game, you know. This kind of music that we play, it's not going to be for the masses. It's never been for the masses. If you want to go for the masses, you know, there's always pop music. There's always Gangnam Style, you know. But here, with what we do, it's something else. It's some people who are seeking something other than just what the masses are going. But at the same time, people who like to party in the same way. But they don't mind partying in an atmosphere where there's children, where there's old people, I'm comfortable with that. I'm an old person myself, but I've always been comfortable in the presence of older people. Many young people, when they start a band, they don't like the presence. They're looking to do something for their age group. I've never been like this. I played music since I was 5 years old, and the first people I wanted to play for was my grandparents, you know? So for us, we're the kind of people that embrace music in every aspect of life, and our public is the same way.
Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry, baby. Don't you worry about it. Oh, let's do it all the time. Don't you worry about it. We're not gonna worry in 2030. Don't you worry about it.
I'm a little bit fed up with people who are afraid of being labeled something. It's okay, because labels are for a moment, they're for a time, they're for a purpose. Somebody who doesn't know, let's take acid jazz, okay? This is just to explain the overall labeling something, whether it's jazz funk, acid jazz, jazz rock, or smooth jazz, or away from jazz, R&B, you know, drum and bass, broken beats, whatever it is. There is, behind every labeling, there is a movement. To be a part of a movement accelerates the process of allowing the people to get what the music is about. Take, for instance, acid jazz. Acid jazz was not born of musicians only, or somebody created the acid jazz sound. We're influenced by certain things that became acid jazz. Acid jazz was the phrase coined by a DJ called Giles Peterson. Giles Peterson had a label called acid jazz afterwards, and then Talking Loud, which where Incognito was. But what was acid jazz? Acid jazz was a meeting of not just musicians, it was a meeting of DJs, musicians, dancers. Go to Camden on a Sunday morning, go to Dingwalls, and you saw what acid jazz was about. We would have breakfast together, you know? We would be preparing for the day, we'd be talking about sounds. We would stop by some place and pick out a shirt to wear for that day. You know, there was a style, you know, there was fashion, there was a purpose, there was like something like a thread being woven amongst the sounds of different bands. We were different. Galliano was different to Incognito. Young Disciples were different to the Galliano, you know, and yet we were all part of this thing called acid jazz. You know, JTQ, James Taylor Quartet, was an organ sound, an old sound being kind of taken to the masses again. Incognito was borrowing the jazz funk sound, but also mixing it with the house sound and dance sound. You know, we were like, it was a movement. So it's okay to have movements, because when the movement is over, because we get to a certain age, we get to a certain time, there's time for something else. It's okay. But those who remember the movement will forever have it in their hearts. The acid jazz movement, that was great. Remember that time. But also, movements get reintroduced in some way or another, because music, the legacy of the music lasts much stronger than the actual fashion statement, you know.
Our acceptance is the way we pay. Did you know that life has given love a guarantee to last you forever? Another day. Well, that's the day I know I'm living, but tomorrow could take me the past, but that I mustn't fear. Cause I know deep in my mind the love of me I left behind, and I'll be loving you always. Rainbow burns, the stars are in the sky. Away until the ocean covers every mountain high, until the dolphins fly and parrots leave their sea. Away until the dream of life and life becomes a dream.
My first memories of music, of life, is music. I remember being 4 and a half, 5 years old. These are my first very strong first memories of life. And I remember sitting with my grandmother on the beaches in Mauritius at sunset. And from the fields on the other side of the road, you know, you'd have the beach, you'd have the road, and then you'd have the fields, sugarcane. The workers would come from the sugarcane fields, carrying their bags and carrying the weight of their day, you know. They carried that to the beach to get a rest before they go home. They would sit on the beach and on a rock, and they looked broken. The old ladies could hardly stand, they were holding their hips. Within an hour, a man would arrive. They would eat some food, and a man would arrive with a drum. He would start to play this drum. It's called the sega. And the people started singing, "Hello, Movini, amba amba, Movini." And it's like, and the music would start, and this spell would come over the people. I would see people healed. Their backs would feel better. The ladies would start dancing. These same little old ladies that was carrying, these same men that had been sitting in the sun and hurting and wanting not to move, just to rest, suddenly became alive because the music brought them to life. In the same way, when we're sick, whatever, we hear something that we love, you feel uplifted, you know? Music is a healer, we know that. Before, when you're a kid, you dream of traveling. I come from a small island, Mauritius. I watch ships disappear every day because wherever I look, even from the mountaintop, I see horizon. I see the line that is at the end of the sea. Once a week, we see an aeroplane flying. When I was a child, we follow the aeroplane, waving to the aeroplane, like wondering with a sense of wonder, where are they going? You know, what are they going to be doing? Then we speak to the sailors from Japan, from Italy, you know, arigato gozaimasu, konnichiwa, you know, it's like, and they would be talking to you, hey, buongiorno, como estai? And you would hear these sounds and language. The sounds were like rhythmic, they were interesting. I wanted to be in this world. So I always wanted to travel, go and see other places, taste, smell. And because of music, I was allowed to do this. And this is the reason why, you know, I embrace these cultures, this life and this life of wonderment, you know. And so when I became old enough and I was traveling, I started thinking, I wonder what would happen if I took the kid who's a problem on my road. Everybody doesn't like him. He sits on the wall, he spits all day long, sitting, spitting, kicking a football against the fence, breaking a window, you know. Hey man, stop doing that. You can hear people shouting at him. I said, let me take this kid and say, man, have you got a passport? No. What's it got to do with you? What do you want? Let me go and speak to your mother. Let's speak to his mother. Can you get this kid a passport? I'll give you 5 days. I'm taking this kid away. Take this kid on the road. The kid's changed for life. The kid sees the world in a different way. The kid sees possibilities. The kid sees something which doesn't exist in his world. And the fact that he is being allowed to taste another world. The kid is no longer prejudiced. His neighbor is no longer an enemy. The neighbor becomes his friend. He falls in love with his enemies. You know, it's almost like, could you imagine if you sent out soldiers and all they did was fall in love with the enemy? There'd be no wars, you know? It's like that. People who absolutely hated people and called people names because they were from a different country. I took them to that country. They changed completely. They travel to this day. They have businesses that is to do with traveling.
All right. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right. Now if you know this one, you gotta sing along, all right? Yeah. Such a good feeling. That's where I wanna be. Locked in your prison of total ecstasy.